Everybody, Steve Haigh with Men at Second. It was great seeing you. If you are able to make the revival call on this Sunday. So we were blessed to have Jim Maggard as our guest speaker. Jim shared his faith journey. Jim has graciously agreed to give us a quick recap of his talk and answer maybe a few more questions about his faith journey. So how you doing, Jim?
Good, Steve. How are you doing?
I'm hanging in there. I'm doing pretty well. Pretty excited that Christmas is coming here.
Yeah, it's good. That's good. Well, the central points I wanted to get across last Sunday during our December revival meeting was simply that God leads us to turning points in our lives, and along with those turning points, typically, He supplies people who become mentors or friends, people who believe in us more than we believe in ourselves, who see talents and skills in us that we don't see. And it is wonderful to have these people in our lives, and particularly when we come to turning points, difficulties, setbacks, joys, whatever it might be, to have those God-provided people in our lives to kind of show us the way. So that was kind of what I was trying to get across.
That's awesome. And I think that came through loud and clear in your talk. And have you kept in touch with some of these folks that have kind of come along and mentored you in your faith?
Well, so many of them, this is quite a number of years ago, many of them have passed on. I mentioned Larry Treadwell, good guy. He's gone, and some of the other folks that I mentioned in my talk have since passed on. But they certainly taught me how to be on the lookout for mentoring opportunities myself, and I'm always, I'm always ready to help if someone asks.
That's wonderful. And, I noticed in your talk, Jim, that kind of a red thread that ran through your talk was your willingness to take that step. So you heard somebody preach, and then you went up to the preacher at the end of that sermon and said, I'd really like to talk to you. And I thought that was really cool that you're willing to do that.
Well, I don't know what it is, but there are certain situations that I've been in where it's a crowded room of people, and I'm in a troubled period in my life during these times, and the room's filled with people, but it's as if the speaker is talking directly to me. It's like there's no one else there, and it's like, oh gosh, okay, I need to speak to this person. He is speaking to me, and I know, or I suspect very highly, that this is coming from the good Lord. And I better avail myself to this person's wisdom and knowledge.
It's always a good idea to pay attention when Christ is maybe speaking through another person or a believer, isn't it?
It's very definitely. Sometimes it's very apparent. Many times, and most times not. But on those few occasions,
Yeah. So, like a lot of us, you've had some peaks and valleys in your life. And I was wondering if you could just talk for a minute about how Christ has showed up in either the peaks or the valleys.
Well, the peaks are so often we think that we are the ones who are responsible for arriving at the peak. And that's a foolish notion, and so at the peaks, it's I think a good practice to really say thank you. I'm only here because of skills, talents, events that you've provided in my life, and so thank you very much. In the valleys, which when you're almost, you're just kind of just hanging on, and you're almost desperate, you just you just ask and you keep asking. And you just kind of have to have faith that things will work out. And when you do come out of those times, those valleys, the next approach to the peak is the best approach and the nicest peak that you've ever experienced, because the valley was so bad and so low that
Yeah.
here you are again, and it's like, oh my God, this is the best.
Right.
So that's I don't know if that answers the question.
Yeah.
That's the way it's been with me.
Yeah. Well said. And like a lot of family situations, it's always hardest to witness to your own family. And I'm curious, why do you suppose that is? And how has that played out in your family?
Oh boy. Well, when we first get excited about being a follower of Christ, you want to go out and tell everybody about it, and the ones that you love the most in your family, you really want to tell them about it, and you want to subject them to Sunday school and all that kind of thing, and have them read the Bible and all this sort of thing. And the only issue, though, is that those people that you love the most have seen you at your very worst, and they remember when dad or brother or son did something that was not very Christ-like. And I've had quite a number of those events in my life.
I don't know
And
what you're
so
talking about.
It's tough when they all say, yeah, Jim, you talk a pretty good game, but I knew you when you did this or that. And so it's tough. What's and I don't know if this works or not, because the jury's still out. I think I'm about this much better than I've been when I started. But you have to do your very best to live it. You have to walk walk the talk and do what it is. And that's not an easy thing when you're sharing a household or raising a family. It's inevitably tempers flare, frustrations occur, words are said that you wish you hadn't said. And so it's tough. But in those times when you have a chance and you're asked, I've also discovered that trying to really talk about it to people, to my family, is not as good as being asked. Be ready to explain your faith, make it simple and succinct. And also when there's trouble in the family, again, actions speak much louder than chatter, words. Be sure that you're right there to help and be the first one there, and go beyond, above and beyond. And you do anyway, because you love them.
Yeah.
So
those are some wise words, Jim.
it's not an easy job to witness to your.
Darn tootin'. Hey, well, thanks again, Jim. Beautiful job this Sunday, and thanks for making some time.
Thank you very much, Steve.
Sure. And for all you folks out there in Second Pres land, we will be having another revival on Sunday, January 17th. And our guest speaker is a good friend of mine named Craig Demery. Craig has got a very moving story about Christ, how Christ has been at work in his life and through the lives of those that he loves in his family. So we hope you can join us then, 9:30 on Sunday, January 17th. All right. God bless. Merry Christmas, everybody. We'll see you soon.